We're going to talk about energetic communication. Now, one of the things that I wrote in my book was, one of the things I highlighted in my book was something from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the ancient tablets, because my book is a compendium of the ancient tablets. And so what I've done is I've broken down the information in a way that the average person can begin to understand it. One of the most amazing things in there from this character named Thoth is the fact that he talks about utilizing cymatic frequencies uttered from your own vocal cords to create ripples in space-time that alter your reality and kind of push you in like a quasi-meditative state. It helps you really change the events or the probabilities of events that are going to potentially occur or that are occurring to you at that moment. And so he gives these special instructions on how to utilize this. So I'm going to go over those because this is also a form of meditation, and it's also a form of really using cymatic frequencies to alter events in space-time. And I've used it for myself many times over the years. It works like a charm if you really truly do believe in it, and if you speak the words with power and commanding power, not just, barely saying them, but if you really truly speak them in commanding power and put the conscious thought behind them. So I'm going to go through this with you really quick, because I think this is a great benefit for anyone that partakes in this practice. He says, first, a place bound by darkness. Now, you got to remember, these are from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and the language they speak is on the same dialect of like Yoda from Star Wars. So now I know where, George Lucas got his concept for the language. I think he went to these ancient tablets and he copied that dialect. But anyway, first, a place bound by darkness. Place a circle around you. Stand erect in the midst of the circle. Use this formula, and you shall be free. Raise your hands to the dark space above you. Close your eyes and draw in the light. Call to the light through the space-time. Using these words, you shall be free. Fill my body. Fill my body with the spirit of light. Come from the flower that shines through the darkness. Come from the halls where the seven lords rule. The flower that shines through the darkness is the flower of life, which is an ancient symbol that you see now all over the planet. If you go to these ancient sites and research ancient civilizations, they all knew of it. And this flower of life, it really is a 64 grid tetrahedron, if you take it into a three-dimensional space image. And in the middle of that 64 grid tetrahedron is something called the vector equilibrium, which was discovered by quantum physicist Nassim Haramein. And this vector equilibrium houses an enormous source of unlimited power. And this exists at every Planck unit in space-time throughout the entire universe. So again, for this entity, this being to know about this 36,000 plus years ago, the level of intelligence is off the chart. So he says, by their names, I call them to aid me, free me and save me from the darkness of night. Now he's calling on names. These are not actual names. He goes on to describe, these are actually frequencies. So by saying these cymatic frequencies from your throat, you have the capability and the power to alter the situation that you're in to make it favorable for yourself, which is really what people are trying to do during prayers. If you pray and you're trying to cast a spell, I mean, it is what it is. If you're trying to change or alter a reality. And so you're incantating words to try to make that reality beneficial for you happen. It's the same thing. That's why they call it spelling. We're trying to cast spells every time you talk. Now, what he's saying is utilizing these particular frequencies, and Thoth was a master at frequencies. He even found a way to combine photons and cymatic frequencies together to make solid matter, according to the Emerald Tablets. So I'm going to read these names to you. Again, by their names, I call them to aid me, free me and save me from the darkness of night. Untanas, Quertus, Chaital, and Goyana, Huertal, Samveda, Ardal. Again, Untanas, Quertus, Chaital, and Goyana, Huertal, Samveda, Ardal. Those are cymatic frequencies. So by uttering those names, which are actually frequencies, it creates a cymatic that leaves out of your vocal cords into the ether of space-time, and has a direct effect backed by the conscious intent you have behind those words. By their names, I implore you, free me from the darkness and fill me with light. You must understand that when you have done this, you shall be free from the bondage of the brothers of night. You must understand that the names have the power to free you by their what? By their vibration, he says. He's talking about cymatic frequencies 36,000 years ago and the ability to use conscious intent backed by these cymatics to alter your reality tunnel. Powerful stuff. The healing benefits of music tuned to 432 hertz. So all of my songs that I produce, I always encode them at 432 hertz because it's a very, very amazing frequency. It's beneficial for the human body. It helps releasing the stress and releasing tension from the body naturally. It unites the body and consciousness with nature. And due to the more harmonic, pleasant nature of 432 hertz music, it helps release the serotonin and endorphins, which in turn keep the blood pressure and heart rate stable. The music you listen to, most of it on the radio these days is 440 hertz, which is actually detrimental to human health. So every time you turn on the radio, you're bombarding yourself with a frequency that actually is not good for DNA. 432 hertz music helps in releasing the negative energy blockages and acts as a good sounding healing tool to release toxins. And that's why I encode all of my songs at 432. Right now I have globally over 340 songs in global distribution. And so if you want some good meditation tracks, you can go on Spotify and just look for Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4. I have a whole meditation playlist up there, and there's 11 songs in that meditation playlist. All of them are encoded at 432, even if it's not in the title, it doesn't matter. All songs are 432 automatically. I have a couple of 528 hertz frequency songs as well, by the way, and they're just as beneficial for the human body. And so those are in there as well. And so you can get this playlist on Spotify, or you can just look up these songs individually. If you can screenshot this or go back to your TV and watch it again, you'll be able to pull these up on Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, any music platform, even YouTube, and play these tracks, okay? There's a particular frequency that I really like to get into, a particular mode I like to get into with meditation, because it generates a frequency that really lets you tap into the cosmic consciousness. To me, it allows you to really directly connect with source energy. Some people call it the universal consciousness. And it's called 111 Ohm Chants, 432 hertz. That's the actual name of the song. 111 Ohm Chants, 432 hertz. It's by Forbidden Knowledge, which is obviously me. And so this is a track that when played allows you to tap back into source energy. Guruji explained that ancient Hindu scriptures describe Om as a primordial sound from which the universe was created and is still present everywhere. The scriptures say that by meditating on Om, you can reach subtle levels of consciousness which have the ability to unite you with God. Check it out, 111 Ohm Chants, a very good meditative track to get into at 432 hertz and get you into a mental state where you're actually getting cosmic energy and directly connecting to the divine, I believe. Now, we're going to go into energetic communication. So before I start that, I want to tell you something that a lot of people might not know. Some of you may have seen me talk about this before, but human beings are imbued with enormous amounts of power. I'm not talking about just spiritual power. I'm talking about real power, real actual electricity, volts. Scientists concluded that the average human body contains 37.5 trillion cells. Each cell generates 0.07 volts of electricity. At 37.5 trillion cells, that's approximately 2.63 trillion volts of electricity in a human body. So when Dr. Swart was talking about the chakras, and you look into Qigong, and you look into Reiki healing, what you find is that these masters found a way to take the energy off the cell walls, these volts, and move them up and down the chakra system and send it out to their extremities, like their hands for Reiki healing or Qigong. Okay, and they can move these energy centers around their body. They can actually collect energy in one place. They can move it to different parts of the body that are actually injured, that need healing. And so the human body, imagine that, 2.63 trillion volts of electricity. is inside of your body right now. So when somebody says you're a powerful person, you're a powerful being, or human beings are powerful, it's not just a statement. It's a real, true statement. It's something that's actually real scientifically. And so we have this energy. We're like walking nuclear explosions. So, you know, when you look at that Matrix scene where you have Neo, he wakes up in that artificial womb and he's connected to the machines. And you find out that these human beings are powering this machine world. And initially, I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw it, I was like, how can a human body have enough electricity, even with all these people, to power this massive global machine? Well, now it makes sense. We have an enormous amount of power in our body. And maybe, just maybe the writers of The Matrix knew about that. Or the woman that wrote it, actually. That's somebody else wrote that movie. Somebody else took it from them. Speaking of the heart, what is energetic communication? Operating on a positive frequency that has the power to change lives. Science can prove this. Speaking from the heart can be as literal as it sounds. A discussion from the heart and its energetic vibrations can affect energy. Dissonance can affect not only your life, but the energy and vibrations of others. The organs of the body are powerful and they emit some vibrations that contribute to how others perceive us. And so you see this energetic field, this image here is from Heart Math. You see this bioenergetic torus that's encircling the human body. And people, and everyone, it extends out in different ranges, anywhere from 8 to 15 feet. In some cases, powerful people can extend out to 20 feet, this torus energy field. And so this torus energy field is amazing because if you go back to what I was talking about with the DNA can, not only can it be connected to a server to upload and download information through a direct connection to a computer server or hard drive, it can also transmit and receive information wirelessly. And what is the Wi-Fi source? The Wi-Fi source is what you're looking at here on the screen. It's this biofield, this torus energy field, this magnetic field carries information in it that can then interact with somebody else's torus energy field. And from there, the information from your field can transfer to their field and they can download that right into their body. And the DNA can store some of that information. Energetic communication is the belief that your emotional state can affect the vibrations and energy fields you emit. The idea that positive attitude or that a positive attitude is critical here. The knowledge that we have and the power to shape our lives has been around us much longer than Western people thought. This really is an Eastern concept. I remember watching Greg Braden on a special where he was in China, and this is Eastern medicine. They had a hospital where there was no scalpel, no scissors, no incisions, no stitches, nothing. All they did was they had a spoken word. So a woman came in with a gallbladder tumor, and they put this gallbladder tumor up on a screen via ultrasound. In real time, the group of doctors hovered over this woman speaking one phrase, wuksha, 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 wuksha. They did this hundreds of times for 15 minutes straight. And right before our eyes, the gallbladder cancer tumor was just shrinking, shrinking, shrinking until it was completely gone. Live on the ultrasound with everybody watching. So Greg Braden went up to the doctors after the procedure and said, "What was that you were saying?" They said it was a prayer. He said, "A prayer?" He said, "What was the prayer?" He said, "The prayer was, it is done." That's the prayer. That's the mindset from Eastern medicine. It is done. On the West, what we do is we actually give away our power by begging and asking an exterior source to come and help and save, when actually the power is in us and we should be commanding things into existence, commanding the end before the end. And so that's the mindset of Eastern medicine. Ancient cultures and civilizations believed in energetic communication. Some form of its ethos has been around for centuries. It's really been eons. And this belief in the heart mantra even made its way into early Hindu teachings. So we talked about the Chinese medicine. They understand how to move the energy up and down the chakras, and they understand how to get it into the hands. This is where you get into Reiki healing. When you look into some of the ancient sages, one of them being by the name of Yeshua. If you read a book called The Gospel of the Holy 12, you discover that Yeshua went to Egypt to learn the mystic arts, and then he went to Tibet to learn Reiki healing and Qigong and moving energy through the body. Okay. And then he went to India to learn the mystic arts and all the way back, doing his teachings and so forth. But the point is, this is ancient stuff. This is ancient information that now Western medicine is finally now start to look to as, a possible source of a way for healing and for even understanding the energy centers in the human body. Acupuncture, if your heart chakra remains blocked or misaligned, many things can begin to go wrong. The blockage of chakras of any kind can lead to adverse effects on all sorts of other systems. The heart chakra allows you to experience love, not only love for yourself, but also love for other people. And aside from love, if your heart is open, you can find all sorts of events to begin and occur. Once you communicate with your heart, you'll be able to fulfill your ultimate purpose. Opening your heart can give you many insights into the person you are supposed to be. And so it all starts with what? I always say that I say this over and over again like a broken record. Unconditional love is the key to changing the course of our civilization on this planet. And until we get to that point of unconditional love, we are going to continue to be in turmoil. We're going to continue to be at odds with one another. We're going to continue to have to fall prey to conquer and divide tactics. Conquer and divide will not work on people that are executing unconditional love. It overrides that program. Think of unconditional love as a software program, okay? And think of divide and conquer as a virus. And think of the fact that the unconditional love software, it has antivirus built into it. So it doesn't work. Divide and conquer doesn't work. Battling over religious beliefs, battling over political beliefs and all these kind of things, battling over what color you are and what race you are. Those things become child's play as mankind matures into a higher level of consciousness. But it all starts with what? The heart chakra. Without that, we don't advance to anything. Heart and science, energetic communication. It has become increasingly clear that biological systems and the properties of magnetic fields affect more than we fully comprehend. Fluctuations in magnetic fields will influence nearly any circuit in the biological system. So this is important to understand, okay? Fluctuations in your magnetic field. Now we're talking about that Taurus energy field that I was showing you earlier. Now understand that field can grow and it can shrink based on what frequency you are at. How much energy are you eating? Energetic foods? Is your energy field becoming depleted because your diet is wrong or you're not getting enough rest? There's various different things that can fall into place that will affect your magnetic fields. In the language of patterns, one of the critical ways that signs and messages are encoded and communicated manifests in physiological processes. We're talking about the body itself. It's well known that information stores in time intervals in the nervous system. This information often refers to psychological communication. These communications are biologically meaningful information encoded between hormonal impulses in the heart and cardiovascular system. It always goes back to the heart. The heart has its own conscious brain, and you have your conscious brain up here, and you have to keep them in alignment. It's called brain-heart coherence. And when you're getting out of alignment with that, with your heart energy, with your heart brain, you have to check yourself and bring yourself back into alignment. Nobody's going to check you but you. You can pretend out there and you can have a poker face. And nobody will know what's going on inside of you. You have to look in the mirror and check yourself. Research has found that their coherence of mind and heart mainly influences the energy field. You have the power and can control the energy you emit into the world. Once you realize this, your life will basically shift. That's the key. The realization of this and that it actually exists, the belief and knowledge that it's there, backed by science, you can track this and you can find out this is a real thing. Now, when you walk into a room full of people, you know that there's Taurus energy fields all around you from those people's bodies. And you can walk into a room, you've heard this statement before, when she walks in or when he walks in, he lights up the room or she lights up the room. Why is that? You light up the room because why? Your energy frequency is a high vibration in the people that are resonating with their Taurus energy fields. So when you walk in the room, your field overlaps theirs and brings their frequencies up. You should have the power to walk into any room and raise the vibration of every person in that room. You literally should be walking like that, walking in true power, walking in true, not with ego, but understanding the divine spark that's in you is enlightening you and keeping you in a high vibration. You're in a mindset of unconditional love and service to others. And so when that mindset and with that energy, that positive frequency, when you walk into a room of people that are suffering, hurting, downtrodden, whatever, you will increase their frequency by a bit, a measurable amount. You may start to see people start smiling and looking at you and can't wait to run up to you and shake your hand. Can't wait to call your name because you walked in with power. The consequence is dissonance. Awaken your consciousness and begin to believe in the power of positive transformation. The consequence is dissonance when one is not in a state of equilibrium. When the mind and the heart go into opposite directions, a person can feel off balance. Again, if your mind is here and your heart's here, you're out of coherence. You have to realign with the heart. You have to have your brain-heart coherence. You need to be back in alignment. You have to check yourself, okay? I just got caught off in traffic, and now I lost my zen, and I'm flipping off this guy, and I'm trying to chase him down to the next red light and everything else. You lost your coherence. You're out of alignment. You got to check yourself at the moment that you feel like you got to get aggressive for somebody for cutting you off in traffic. At that exact moment, wait a minute, what am I doing? Hold on, what was I getting ready to do? Check yourself, get yourself back in alignment. Instead of trying to chase that person down and flip them off and yell at them through the window and curse them out and all this kind of crazy, get in front of them and pump your brakes. Why don't you just bless that person? Say, you know what, I blessed that person. Whatever they're going through, maybe they're in a rush. They could have got a phone call that their kid just got injured, that their wife may be having a baby. They could have had a tragic situation just occur. They could be under a lot of stress or pressure. We don't know what's going on with that person. They could be ill or sick internally, or maybe even mentally ill. We don't know. So instead of reacting out of alignment, stay in unconditional love mode. Be happy that you didn't crash. Be happy that you made it out safely. Bless that person and pray and command that they reach their destination safely. That's what we should be doing. That's the flip. That's the switch that you flip in your mind that changes everyone on this entire planet. Speaking from the heart, energetic communication is a low frequency vibration created by the body and heart. These vibrations facilitate emotional information that can influence your perception of consciousness. Scientists who work in energetic communication find themselves interested in emotions. The perception of these complicated humanistic qualities is determined by our vibrational output. How are we outputting? Are we outputting negative information? Are we outputting or negative thoughts? Are we outputting high positive thoughts? The scientists also believe that your emotional state has the power to emit itself as an electromagnetic field, and the energy of this field can influence your everyday life. These same energies are present in your pulse and also in your heartbeat. This is readable, measurable information. This is real science. So this isn't like, we're just a bunch of gypsies out here. Be love. I love the world and no. This is like going against what I'm telling you right now, what I'm trying to teach you right now. Going against this is going to give you disease or dis-ease in your body. It's going to negatively affect the world around you. It's going to add to the chaos and the entropy that we see going on the planet. Going and following what I'm showing you and actually acting on it and utilizing it in your everyday life has an effect to change your body, change your health, improve your health, and affect and change others in a positive way. You have a fork in the road. Which way do you want to go? The decision is yours. Energetic communication does not mean you don't have any negative emotions. That would extremely be unhealthy. Everyone has yin and everyone has yang. You're going to have positive emotions, negative emotions. It's how you deal with the information, how you deal with the emotions. Yes, we all have trigger points. Yes, we all have the right to get angry. Not ever getting angry or not ever having emotions is totally illogical, okay? We're not Vulcans from Star Trek, if you ever watched the Star Trek series, right? However, how do you control those emotions once you sense them and feel them, understand them, deal with them, and find a way to maintain your alignment? That's the true sign of a person on an ascension process, becoming an ascended master. These are what the sages of old would teach. This is about living above negative occurrences in the world and learning from them, not speaking to these directly, but absorbing the lessons. And the main concept is the main concept of energetic communication. Going through situations, going through turmoil, being exposed to negativity, being exposed to drama and trauma, and learning from it, becoming better from it, and controlling your emotional response to it, understanding and feeling the emotions and living them, but at the same time, control the output, the frequency that you're putting back out. Go find yourself a place, sit back for a minute, go through, run it through your mind, feel sad, feel down, feel angry. When you go back to respond to the world, come back with positivity, energy, understanding, and solutions. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be mad. But if the situation is affecting you in a certain kind of way, come back with solutions that will affect or change the situation. If you don't have solutions, get with groups of people that are working to create solutions. We need more solutions providers on this planet. And we need, well, like I always say, we need warriors, not worriers. There's a difference. It's about a difference in the thinking before these behaviors become overly critical of the self-damaging, or speaking from the heart is also all about small conversations with yourself. You're literally having small, like I said, you got to keep checking yourself. Oh man, I was just about to do something. The waiter didn't bring me what I asked for fast enough. And I was just about to snap on this guy. You know what? Let me rethink that. Let me pull back in. Let me find a way to address this. Now that I've dealt with the anger internally or the frustration internally, you know, hey, when he comes over again or she comes over again, you know, you forgot to bring me my ketchup, right? You know, but in a way that is maybe even with a slight smile on your face, or just letting them know, you know, I was expecting this, but not in a way that's aggressive, in a way that helps them see that, oh, I forgot something, but not in a condescending manner where you're trying to browbeat them or look down on them for making a mistake or forgetting something. Because you got to remember, they have all kind of stuff going on in their brains too. Yes, they may be your waiter or waitress for the day, but they can have all kind of stressful situations going on at work, at home, with their children. You don't know. They can even be sick or ill. I mean, look at Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman did all these movies with terminal cancer. Nobody knew. I mean, nobody knew. He's a perfect example of energetic communication. He's a perfect example of what I'm teaching you right now. He exhibited nothing but excellence. And all he did was focus on positivity, love, helping people, being of service to others. And he focused on his job, and he did it at the highest level, to the point where nobody would even believe this guy was actually dying. Every single day he was getting one step closer to death. You would have never known it. You don't think he suffered? You don't think he was angry, frustrated? You don't think he cried? He did all of that stuff. He went through his emotions. But what did he project to the world? Love and unconditional love, kindness, peace, tranquility, and service to others. That's the message that we're trying to get to here. And what can your mood do? Evaluate the conversations you're having with yourself in your head. If the language you are using from the thought patterns you develop are unkind, make yourself some moves to change those thoughts. Those thoughts, remember what I said earlier, they leave your brain, they leave your skull, they go out. Those thoughts go out into space-time. They go out into the energetic grid. They go out into the Akashic records. They're permanent. Those thoughts are permanent. You think, I want to choke this, whatever, right? You think, oh, nobody knows I said that. You guys are worried about the FBI watching everything you say? You worried about the cell phones recording all your conversations? The universe is recording everything. Everything. So keep that in mind. Every time you think something is negative to yourself, try to replace it with something kind. You'll be blown away that the impact this has on your emotional state. So something's happening bad. Oh man, let me replace that with something positive about something else. That just flips a switch in your brain. The brain responds fast. Boom. Just like that. You can flip your state of mind just like that. Something negative happens, focus on something positive. Often you may not even have to acknowledge that you're feeling verbally, what you are feeling verbally. You may not even have a specific look on your face, but they seem to know. So sometimes people can just read you. Empathic people, as we talked about, they can read you without you saying a thing. They know. They know. And so, and that's okay. You have, and all of us should probably even find someone that we can even confide into, somebody that we can talk to, somebody that will be there just to listen to us, so that we can clear some of this space, out of us. There's a place that I went to in Detroit called Inception, a phenomenal place for clearing space. They have a mental gym. And so you go there and they have all these modalities in place with a circuit that they put you on, a psychological circuit that helps you clear mental space and helps you rid the trauma from your body. Things like that I highly, highly, highly recommend. This means that energetic communication affects how others see you and your actions. It makes a statement to the world. Like I said about Chadwick Boseman, he made a statement to the world about who he truly was as a person, because once you already knew he was a phenomenal human being, but once you found out he was dying from cancer that whole time, and he had to train and work out and build muscle and all this stuff, and he's dying. I mean, come on. You see what I mean? You have to find a way. You have to find a way to what you're presenting to the world has to be your best. You have to put your best foot forward, because what you're going to do, the way that you present yourself, has a direct psychological effect, not only on other people, but also on their energy field and the way that it interacts with other people. So it becomes magnified. These types of communications could be significantly contributing to negative parts of your life, and you may have been unaware of it. If you emit a negative energy field, you could potentially repel good things by simply being negative. So you could repel is what I meant to say. So if you're, like I was saying earlier with the law of attraction, it works in both ways. So if you're thinking negative thoughts and you always focus on the bad things, you're not focused on creating solutions for problems, and you're always in a low frequency mindset of hoping and wishing and feeling sorry for yourself, then what happens is the law of attraction is still going to work. It's just going to work with negativity and low frequency things. Every time you turn around, you're going to have another problem, another issue, because the universe thinks that's what you're trying to attract. So it's in here. Let me give you some more bad stuff. Let me give you some. So the universe is not good or bad. It's just stuff. It's just by frequency. When you go to a high frequency mindset and you're replacing negative thoughts with positive thoughts, you're getting in brain-heart coherence. You're meditating. You're eating energetic foods. You're, being of service to others. Unconditional love for others. Now the universe is open to you for higher frequency stuff. And so when you start thinking about manifesting things into your reality, those opportunities will begin to appear as the universe sends down the pipeline these opportunities for you to connect to your end result that you want. It may not just necessarily just drop exactly what you want in your lap, but it may connect you to things that will allow you to fulfill the final end goal and the end game that you're trying to get to. So if you're trying to manifest a house that you want to buy, and you're operating at a high frequency, and because closing on a loan like that or paying it cash, that requires, that's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. It's not like saying I want to go outside and be homeless. You're saying I want to buy a home. And so you're trying to manifest this house, and you're in the mindset of manifesting house, and you're thinking about living in this house and owning this house, and you have the keys to this house in your mind already. And so the universe is bringing you opportunities. Well, here's a bonus for your job, or here's a new job offer that's going to give you a signing bonus that's going to give you the down payment. These things come to you and you have to discern them. Windows of opportunity open, but windows of opportunity also close. And so in the manifestation process through the law of attraction and these higher mind states of thought, you have to be able to discern when things are coming to you to help you get to that end goal of manifestation. So what the ancients knew, wrapping up here, speaking from the heart or energetic communication may be new to some people, and it may seem far-fetched to some others, but the thinking behind this is positive and it's real. Ancient civilizations witnessed the principles of energetic communications, and your mind and your energy have many things to contribute to this. And you can get to know much more about the hidden proportions of you and how that affects your present reality. And also you can learn more about yourself and also about people in general around the world. So the key is, the teaching that we gave you today is going to give you a little bit of a roadmap of ways to improve yourself, improve the way you think, improve the way you feel. And hopefully, because you're working on yourself on the inside, it's going to project to the outside, experimenting with different practices of empathy for others, not sympathy, but empathy. And also then, of course, utilizing the law of attraction, utilizing the ability for yourself to manifest, utilizing energetic communication in a way that benefits you, but also benefits the world as a whole. Okay. So I want to thank everyone for coming on this workshop today. Hey, everybody, it's Billy Carson, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about a very special event coming up July 30th, 2023, the Forbidden Conscious Awards. We're going to honor people who have been contributing to the conscious community for decades. People that you know and love that have helped you get to higher levels of thought and consciousness and awareness. It's going to be a live in-person event, but seats are going to sell out very fast. You want to make sure you're there in person. And guess what? You can help vote for the winners. Voting is available on forbiddenknowledge.com. And the categories are going to be social media influencer, podcast/radio host, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and of course, a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'll be your keynote speaker that night at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. We have celebrity guests performing. We'll have a halftime show where we're actually going to perform music for you. And don't forget about the pre-event mixer, where if you buy a box seat, you'll be in the VIP section, and you also have private access to a VIP mixer with celebrity guests. Shake hands, break bread, network, and then walk the red carpet with us and take amazing photos. It's gonna be a night to remember. You don't wanna forget this. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out very fast. I wanna see you there. Forbidden Conscious Awards 2023.